Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Andrew. I'm here with Josh, and we got some state playoff football to talk about here. We've got 4 Whatcom County teams advancing to state this year, with Squalicum, Mount Baker, Meridian, and Lummi getting the job done as well. So we're going to talk about each 4 of those games really quick, and so let's go ahead and get into it. First off, Squalicum takes on WF West, the only Whatcom County team that's playing a home game this Saturday night, and WF West a quality team. I think Squalicum, might get pushed a little bit, but I think the big key for them is not to be overlooking the Bearcats. With Tumwater potentially on the horizon, I know it would be tough not to, but after all, though, Squalicum's just such a tough team. They got so many weapons on offense, and so many quality guys on defense. I don't see them bowing out this early. I think I'm going to go ahead and give them a 28-7 win in this one.
Yeah, Squalicum's a great team. They got a lot of athleticism. They got so many weapons on offense they can use, and I think their defense can get overlooked because of what they're able to do on offense. They haven't been tested in a while, and I think that could be a key part of this game. They might have a slow start just because WF West is a quality team, and they've gone a stretch of time without having to play one of those top tier teams. So it might be a slow start for Squalicum, but I just think they have too many weapons in this one, and I'm giving them the 42-21 win.
Sure. Okay, now turn to the 1As here. Mount Baker is one of 2 teams traveling pretty far south this weekend. They take on Kalama, and what was kind of a tough draw for them this year, with Kings getting the number 1 seed. They take the number 2 seed and face a pretty good-looking Kalama team. They have both the Trico MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, so Mount Baker's defense is definitely going to have their hands full in this one. But man, the Mountaineers have been really impressive of late, with running the ball with Judge Slimer, obviously Carson Ingholm, and really showed a bunch of weapons during their district win last week. I really expect Mount Baker to go down there and get the job done. I'm going to give them a 35-21 win this week.
Yeah, Mount Baker, just the classic Mount Baker. They love to go to the ground and pound. They have more than 2 capable backs. I mean, Judge Slimer and Carson Ingholm are both great runners, and with a good offensive line, they can run for days. And I think that might surprise some teams. I don't know. Kalama will obviously watch that on the game film, but that's a hard duo to stop. And then you go to Mount Baker's defense, and if you have a good run game and a great defense, that's a recipe for success, and that's why I have Mount Baker winning this one 21-17.
Okay, the other 1A matchup, Meridian travels down to play Whatcom in Aberdeen this Saturday in what was a rematch of a Week 1 matchup where Whatcom came up here and took on Meridian in Laurel, and obviously that game Whatcom got the better of them 36-21, but although Whatcom is 9-0, I don't think they're an unbeatable team. 3 of their wins have come by 10 or less points. Meridian gave them a good game at the beginning of the year, and if you don't remember last year, Meridian went down there and got a win against the Grizzlies. So I'm not going to go ahead and count Meridian out in this one, but Whatcom is a good team. They're a force to be reckoned with. I think it will be tough nonetheless to go down there and get a win. So I think it's going to be a really good one, but at the end of the day, I'm going to give Whatcom a 28-21 narrow victory against Meridian.
Yeah, I really like Meridian as a team. They're really a balanced team. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. Last week they really showed how good their offensive line was in a win over Cedar Park Christian. They ran for 300-some yards on the ground, and you can't count their passing game out either. So I think it'll be hard for Whatcom to stop all those weapons. I know Whatcom has that win over them already, but I think Meridian will be able to get the job done in this one. You have to give credit to the defensive line pressure that they forced on Cedar Park Christian last week. The Trojans did. That defensive line looked really great. That'll be much needed against a great Whatcom quarterback who set the school record for passing touchdowns this year. So that's going to be needed, and I think Meridian will be able to do it. I actually have them winning 20-14.
Sure. Okay. Lastly, we go to 8-man football with Lummi back in the state playoffs yet again. Seems like every year they're in there, and this year they bring in another quality team, but kind of like it's been common with the other teams, they have a really tough matchup facing an undefeated Evergreen Lutheran team. Don't count out the Blackhawks. They got Trezille Lane and Hank Hoskins back in there, and with those guys, you know what they can do. So, end of the day, though, it's going to be really tough for them. Like I said, Evergreen Lutheran, they've been outscoring their opponents by 38.7 points per game. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a 42-34 win over Lummi.
You know, I think this game comes down to experience. Evergreen Lutheran's never been in a state playoff. Lummi has tons of experience, especially recently. They got guys coming back with Trezilla and Hank Hoskins. They've been big the last couple weeks, and I just think that that's going to be the difference makers. These guys were in the state semifinal last year. The Blackhawks were, and that's why I have them winning this game 36-28.
All right, well, that's all for this week. Make sure to follow all our prep football coverage at BellinghamHerald.com/sports and be checking our Twitter feeds throughout this weekend for updates. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.